Hello, I'm Matt1, and welcome to a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So Volume 2 doesn't have the great charm as Volume 1, but it's still pretty fun and enjoyable to watch. So our movie starts out in the 80s, again like Volume 1 did, but this time we get to see Peter Quill's mom and his father Ego. And they're sort of having like a love vacation with the time of their lives. And Ego shows Quill's mom like the space planet that he says that one day it's going to be all over the galaxy one day. Before I went into the movie, I heard that Ego was going to be the villain, and throughout almost this whole movie, I was like, why is he the villain? So because in the beginning, when we first introduced him, I wasn't warning about the space planet. I thought it was something nice. I didn't know it was gonna be like a device that would probably destroy it. I'm gonna explain all that, like at what point I was like, why is he the villain? So he's such a nice guy. I'm gonna explain all my points about that. So next we cut to our modern day, just so you know that this does take place in 2014. So it's like 3 or 4 months after where the first Guardians took place, not in 2017. So the Guardians look like they're stopping some kind of like weird space dinosaur. I know that James Gunn said that he made this monster up himself, so it's not anything from the comic. And I like when he battles this monster, it's just baby Groot dancing along, and all the Guardians are just fighting the monster while the camera just panels up to baby Groot just dancing along to things like, because the music's playing from Quill's Walkman. It's very hilarious. I really like this opening. It's the only thing you probably would see like something like fun like in a James Gunn kind of film. Oh, one other thing to note, before I watched Guardians, I was watching a lot of Parks and Rec because like it has Chris Pratt in it, and a lot of things I just thought it was like Parks and Rec in space at some point. Like Star-Lord, Peter Quill will be Andy, of course, will be our summer. Gamora will be April. Drax seems more on the line of Ron. Those are the similarities that I just put in my head when I was watching it. It just felt like it to me. So the reason why they're fighting this monster, because it likes to eat these batteries that gold people have. I forgot what they're called. So when they stop the space dinosaur or monster or whatever, the gold people grant them what a gift. That gift was Nebula, because and I guess they had their capture or whatever when she was on her from the last one. She did like just chop ran off out of nowhere. Galileo being about. Now the Guardians have her. That's why she's always on the. I know it was gonna be something else, but like, this is good. And also Rocket wanted some of the batteries, but like the gold people said no. And after that, I mean, like they were leaving, like I took some of them. He told Drax like sweet or like nice. After they figured out the Guardians stole the batteries, but really it was Rocket that stole the batteries, not the whole team. And they're also like freaking out and arguing like, why are you doing that? Rocket did mess with them like he always does. So when you go after them, their ships. So there's no one in the ships that are after the Guardians. Well, so it's like almost like Wi-Fi control ships. Well, the gold people are just like piloting them in their base. It looks like an arcade. Now, I like that Guardians does all these 80s references. When it comes to other people doing it, I don't like it. I just didn't like that the villains were just making like arcade things, and like when they were like shooting at the Guardians, like when the whole base, it sounds like pew 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 when it went. But I think when it was like when it shows the actual ships, I think it was not making that sound. I think it was making a different sound, like an actual like boom, like whatever, I don't know. So I just didn't like that. I just didn't like that they were like doing some kind of 80s references too. I just like only when Good Guardians are doing it, or at least Quill mentioning like Ninja Turtles or whatever, and Pac-Man. Even with the like the title popping out when Groot was like, about to dance, like it was like a neon light sign. But so the Guardians managed to destroy some of them. I also note that Rocket wanted to kill them, but since they're not ships, they're Wi-Fi piloting it, he can't kill them. They destroy some of them, and then a minute later they actually ambush them because some of them separated from the group, and then boom. One other thing that I do kind of like this when like before like they ambushed, if they were like one of them was still left, and like when they're showing the gold people, it was actually like an actual arcade. Come on, get them, and then he lost. Like, you suck. Like actual people in the arcade talk like, you suck, Johnny. So after when they're trying to get away from them, some mysterious thing helps them destroy all the ship. And Rocket notices a man riding on a ship, just standing on the ship. Well, nothing, no helmet, no weird bubbly thing that Drax was wearing when he went out to try to destroy some of them with a bungee cord. That guy is crazy if you think about it. That guy is really crazy. At least that helped the Guardians get the hell out of there. And that person that helped them was Ego. So Ego explained what he was doing all these years. He did send Yondu to get him, but Yondu didn't. Well, Yondu caught him, but Yondu kept Peter for himself, so he can like sneak into small spaces and like be a thief. Also, Yondu threatened to eat Quill. And also, a little funny note that Drax thought Yondu was Peter's father. I like that little argument that like Drax and Rocket have. You thought Yondu was his father? He's blue! And Drax goes like, so? Drax is very more comedic in this movie. Peter doesn't buy this guy's telling the whole truth, or he just thinks he's making all this stuff up, because he doesn't trust him at this point. Or he thinks it's his father, but still doesn't trust him. Because it's been all these years. Why can't he just get him for himself? That's what Peter's thinking. But Gamora talks him into it, let's see what happens with this guy. And if he's not the guy he thinks he is, we'll just kill him, which they actually do later on. So Quill, Drax, and Gamora go with Ego, while Rocket and Groot stay and work on a ship and don't keep an eye on Nebula. Forgot to mention, there's this running gag about this fruit that Nebula wants to eat on the ship. It's not ripe yet. When she does eat it, she spits out and it's not right yet. So let's talk about another character, Mantis. Drax is also messing with her a lot throughout this film, and she explains that her power that she can put people into sleep and also feel emotions like you saw in the trailer. I like that she would touch Quill, and she touched Drax, and she was laughing with Drax at Quill. Then she tried to touch Gamora and you guys her hand don't, or I'll break you. Gamora is very scary sometimes, just like April. Remember how I said I just thought of it, Parks and Rec but in space? April would say to someone like that. I think she would say I'll kill you and bury you in my backyard. No, I think she would say something I'll kill you and bury you in my backyard. That sounds like something April will say from Parks and Rec. So now let's talk about the Ravagers, what they're being up to. Now I did not like this transition that just cuts away from the Guardians. When he crashed and Ego tells him I'm your father, Peter, and it cuts away from that and then it goes to the Ravagers for a little bit. I did not like that transition, that and then that. I know that we already been introduced to them in the last film. It just had that weird Spider-Man 2 feeling to me, just to me. I don't know about anyone else that thought of this, but just for me. And also, they have robot prostitutes. I guess that's how they slide it past Disney. And Disney oh, robot. Wait, are they gonna sell toys too? And they figure out that sex robot and they're ugh, when they see the movie, but then before they think it's toys. So it looks like Yondu might be in trouble because he helped the Guardians in the last movie and got kind of in trouble with the head Ravager. He doesn't want him helping Nova Corps or Guardians or being good. They're supposed to be thieves, Ravagers, whatever. Let's go steal some stuff kind of people. So after that, the Gold People see Yondu's group because they had connections with the Guardians. So the Gold People call them Gold People, they ask Yondu and the Ravagers we'll pay you if you get back the things that we want, which are the batteries. So when the Ravagers go to the Guardians crash site, well, first of all, Yondu put a tracker on the Milano. So I like when they sneaking up to the crash ship, but then Rocket already booby trapped the place and it's just messing with them, putting them up in the air, giving them nails in their neck. It's just crazy fun with Rocket. He just likes messing with people. He even beats up one of them, jumps out and attacks one of them. It's funny. An actual raccoon. I think he scratches them. So while Rocket's always having his fun, Yondu is the one that stops him because of the gold whistle arrow when he does. So when he stops him, Yondu says, oh, we're not going to give it back to those snobs, Gold People. We're going to keep them for ourselves and sell them on a black market. We're going to keep them for ourselves and sell them on a black market. And then some of the other Ravagers they were going to give us a fortune for that. And then Yondu's we'll probably get it for a quarter less. They're debating about we're going to get more for that. Quarter is less, very, very less. It's 25. So they're just debating some of them pointing their guns at Yondu, some of them are not. Some of them pointing at the other ones that pointing at Yondu got his whistle arrow up, and then Nebula stops Yondu by tasing him in the head and tasing Rocket too. And this is where she eats that weird space pear and it's not ripe yet. So next we go to Eagle's planet, and again, I love that James Gunn's coloring how he did with the last movie. With this movie, you see all Eagle's planet very nice and beautiful. There's bubbles in the air, you pop one and I'm I remember Drax popped one and he started just laughing. I think that's what happened. He has a fish going up whatever. I don't know what the hell is going on there. So then Ego explains that he spent centuries controlling molecules and that he developed everything around him too. He was just a brain, and now he became a giant planet. Next, he wanted to explore around him, see if there's any living life in the galaxy. He built his form of what people might look like. And he told Quill why he can't stay on Earth that much. He needs to be by the planet or he'll disintegrate or whatever. Quill does argue with him I needed you, my mom needed you. Ego understands that he was not that great, but now he can make it up for him. Okay. And again, how was he the villain? That's why at this point, how is he the villain? Why is he the villain? That when I was in the theater, how is he the villain like that? Because he seems like a very nice guy. Next, Ego wants to teach about the planet that he can do this kind of stuff too. After Shazat continues on that after when he heard a person that picked up an Infinity Stone, he knew that had to be his son, and then he teaches Peter how to make this ball of light, and they end up playing catch with it. And again, I'm how is he the villain? We'll get there. So next, the Ravagers are deciding who should be the new leader of this group. And then there's just one guy who's I should be the new leader. I am Taserface. And Rocket starts laughing at him. That's your name, Taserface? It becomes another running gag throughout like the second half of the film. There's a lot of running gags. There's the fruit gag with Nebula. There's Taserface. I think Drax making fun of Mantis is a running gag as well. Nebula gets a new arm or a new hand from the Ravagers, and then she's like splits and tries to go after Gamora. While Yondu and Rocket are in the cage, Yondu explains his past to Rocket, how he was a Kree battle soldier, and then the Ravagers came and like offered him to like join them. And also Rocket tells that Peter's old man came, and like, that's when Yondu explained that why he kept Quill. Ego's an asshole, and why he kept Quill because he was small and scrawny and can fit through anything, and he was good for thieving. So after that, Yondu has the idea of trying to get his replacement on his head because since Nebula damaged it, he needs his giant spin thing. I think that was like the prototype. That's what he said. They needed an outsider to get him, which was Baby Groot. And the Ravagers are just messing with Groot, putting him in a little Ravager suit, putting like alcohol on him, like they're just being mean to him. Poor Groot. And he goes like over to like Rocket, and Yondu is like, oh, Rocket's like pissed, like, what did they do to you? Also like, how Yondu is calling him Twig. Hey Twig. So Yondu tells Groot to get his fin, and then Groot doesn't know what it looks like. He just keeps on bringing back random things like eyes, coins. He thinks it's a hat for him, but he keeps saying it's a red fin, Twig, in the drawer, and he's just like kind of clueless about like what it is. Keeps on explaining to it, but Groot's not listening. Maybe adult Groot will probably understand more, but Baby Groot doesn't understand. He's just there to like sell toys and be cute. Then Kraglin helped Baby Groot out. Kraglin is always the one that was standing up for Yondu, because he knows like what the other Ravagers are doing, and it's like messed up and like it's not right. And he's always the one that was sticking up for Yondu in the beginning, even with Quill being not loyal to Yondu, and it was still good at one another Ravagers and still loyal to Yondu. I also like their escape scene, like displaying that awesome Guardians Volume 2 soundtrack. Soundtrack is also another good thing that happens with this movie. Always good. These soundtracks are always built into the movie. It's not like random songs, and they know when to be played. So they manage to get out of there, but well, they also kill some of them, and then that they steal part of the ship because it's like it's one half of a ship. And then Rocket sets a course for Ego place, and then Yondu's like, what the? You set course for Ego's place? That's 700 jumps. They're like, what? And then that's when we get like weird animation, like their faces are like stretching out, like their eyes are like going bigger and bigger and bigger. We also saw some Easter eggs when they're like making the jump. You also see Stanley's cameo from that. And also, it seems like he's the Watcher that's been watched, or a part of the Watchers, which is weird that like the Watch, I just learned that they're a Fantastic Four character. And you think about it, do they have the Fantastic Four and they're just not telling us? Weird, right? Yeah, it is. Or maybe they do, and they're just not telling us at all. And surprise for Infinity War, Fantastic Four, or Phase 4. Who knows? So then Taserface tells the gold people, put a tracker on his getaway ship. I'm saying the coordinates, and let your leaders know the name of Taserface. And then the gold lady just laughs at him. So his name is not that interesting. It's a dumb name. It's Taserface. So let's go back to Ego, find it. So while Peter's happy about, like, he spends his time, and Gamora's happy for him, but then Gamora starts having this weird feeling about this place that something's not right. It's just a little too perfect. And then not right. So she choppers off to the field, thinking, and then Nebula comes and like fights her a little bit. Nebula defeats her. After all the battles Gamora, she finally wins. And like, cause when they were kids, I would say Darkseid, but when Thanos had them fight as a kid, when Nebula was always the one that lost, she got her limbs taken off, or parts of her got taken off, and she finally won. Probably can take off a limb off of Gamora now. Just kidding. That was Darkseid. Thanos. That was Thanos is doing. Keep on saying Darkseid. Probably because Darkseid's a better villain. And even though Darkseid's not in the DCU yet, in that world yet, I'm just like more invested in Darkseid than in Thanos. Thanos didn't even do anything yet. Just sit on his dumb chair. So after that, Peter's just sad about Gamora's being angry with him, and then like Ego tells him about, like, tries to cheer him up, and then tells him that he's immortal and he creates stuff. And then Quill goes like, I'm gonna do some weird shit like Pac-Man later. Then Ego wants to show him something again, and then that's when Mantis is getting like anxious about things, and she goes to tell Drax, and then Drax is like, don't. He thinks that Mantis is like into him or whatever. But yeah, Drax is saying a bunch of weird things. So Mantis wants to really tell him, and then after that we get a cutaway about that cave where like Gamora and Nebula were in, like after winning the battle. You see like a bunch of bones, and we get shot back to Ego about telling Peter about what he's been doing all this time and what he wants to do with this galaxy. He wants everything him all the planets into Ego Planet to what he wants to do. He shows him like infinite amount of galaxy that he can see eternity, which is also a reference to the Marvel character Eternity. He also explains that he needs 2 Celestials, people that are like him. He needs 2 people like him, so that's why having like a bunch of kids all over the galaxy. And all those bones were his children. That's what Mantis says to Gamora and Drax. So all of them have been failed experiments. Also, Yondu has been collecting them, and then that's when Yondu didn't give Peter to Ego because he didn't want to have another dead child on his hand, which is the right thing to do. Then that's when I wake up, and now I see why he's the villain. And then, since Guardians is like almost like a Star Wars movie but James Gunn created himself with Marvel characters, we get our I am your father moment, which is Ego was the one that killed his mom. And then that's when like, Peter wakes up like from his like vision after when Peter realizes what he did. And then we don't see Dome battling like Ego as a human form. He battles as like this weird electrical thing inside the core of his planet. So then the gold people come, then they got battle with Ego, the battle with the gold people flying on their ships and crap. And Mantis also helped because she knows that Ego is not a good person. You kind of did expect her to be like a villain too, but she's not. She's just an innocent teacher that Drax likes to call ugly, but beautiful on the inside. So Mantis does manage to put Ego for a sleep. That's when that meteor hit her. Drax like,
look out! Oh wow. I tried, guys.
Like, wait, and then you have like Rocket's trying to build also a bomb to like stop him, and then Groot chucked off with that bomb that looks like a controller, and he doesn't know it. He's just like,
that's a really bad sign.
being a little guy and doing whatever he wants. And also, like, when it was the moment where, like, you thought Yondu and Peter and also Nebula, so, like, in the Ravager ship, and it explodes, and, like, you see Quill and Yondu get out of there safely, because, like, you thought it would be dead for a second there. But no, Yondu is, like, hanging from his arrow, like, settling down. The guy may be your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Yondu was his daddy. Oh, I forgot to mention the one thing, it just reminded me, Ego got a hold of Quill, doing, like, some kind of weird electrical stuff to him, and then somehow he woke up and he remembered everything that happened, like with his friends and spending time with his mother and like spending time with Yondu as a kid. Well, that's when I saw that same old charm that made me think of First Guardians. I think they should have sold that a little bit earlier, like Yondu training Quill how to learn how to shoot that element gun that he has. So Quill says to the other Guardians that he only wants me. He doesn't want any of you guys. So you guys can go while I stop him. This is where we get Peter doing all his weird shit, like changing into a Pac-Man to like try to stop him. Better than Pickles. They all are like having a fight. Yondu asks Rocket for like things because once Peter stops Ego or when this place explodes, he's gonna get out of there, and he only has one of each thing. So he has the jetpack, he has like that air thing go around. So when the bomb does go off, the place is like destroying. Yondu picks up Peter, he gives him the air bubble thing, and Yondu has the jetpack. He go up into space. Yondu doesn't survive, and that's sad. There's a lot of good things between fathers and sons in this movie with Peter and Yondu and Ego, and also a lot of sisterly stuff between Gamora and Nebula. Also Nebula's Gamora when she falls down during the Ego fight. That's pretty nice. And whatever Mantis and Drax are, and I guess you could say Rocket and Groot are always like kind of like brothers a little bit. It's like a lot of family stuff in this one. I did like the touching moments with Yondu and Quill about like him saying that he's his real father, that he's the one that raised him. Also, when the Guardians are having Yondu's funeral, the other Ravagers hear about this, and he come to wish him a good farewell. Oh, I forgot the Zune! Yeah, so Kraglin gave Quill a Zune. Now, it was a competitor with the iPod in 2006 or 2007. And I also think my brother had one too. I didn't have one because I hate music. No, I'm kidding. I didn't listen to that much music back in 2007. No one used it anymore because we have like people that use their phones for music. So this thing is from 2007. So obviously it has 300 songs on it. So obviously it's going to have some early 2000s music, some 90s music. Now I hope it has Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, and NSYNC on it. That would be hilarious if it does. Please, James Gunn, let that music be on the Zune. That would be hilarious to really see. And also probably some Green Day, probably. That would be pretty nice. Or cool, like Green Day. Grew up with it because of my aunt. So, like, there's 2 ending credits. There was one about, like, the leader of Ravagers. I guess, like, he was separated from the other core members of the Ravagers. How they used to be a group. And that, I learned about that. That was the first Guardians of the Galaxy group for the comics. And now, they're gonna team up. And I don't think that they're gonna be replacing these Guardians. Because Sylvester Stallone, see, I remember his name now. He's not gonna live that long probably, so he's probably gonna go be in Guardians 3, possibly. Volume 3, possibly, I hope so. That's probably gonna be like in 2020, probably, I don't know, but let's hope so. Second end credits is the gold people have like a new thing, Adam Warlock. Yeah, he's a keeper of the Soul Stone, he has it in his head. I don't think he's going to have the Soul Stone, like, in this continuity, so I don't think the gold people will be popping up in Avengers Infinity War, possibly in Guardians 3 or Volume 3. There's a couple more. So Kraglin trying to learn how to use Yondu's whistle arrow with his fin. Probably in Avengers 3, he's probably not masked because it's going to be 3 years since then. And the last one is like a teenage Groot. So teenage Groot is probably taking place in 2015 or 2016. So we're probably gonna see adult Groot in Avengers Infinity War, or maybe we'll see Millennial Groot or whatever, I don't know. Oh, for one other thing about like that first Guardians team of Ravagers, the little robot thing was actually Miley Cyrus actually. And also you saw like some kind of weird alien wizard that had like the Doctor Strange circles. So this is my rating for it. Yeah, it's not as good as the first Guardians, but it still is fun. Like I said, it doesn't have that same charm to it. It's still pretty fun to watch. It's not like groundbreaking, still pretty visual, colorful to see, fun though. So what do you think of Guardians Volume 2? Please leave a comment down below, give me a like, it really helps me out, and subscribe for more. I've been Matt1, and see you later.